Hello students, how are you all? Okay, so now today we are going to study chapter number 4, that is sorting materials into groups. We have learned 3 chapters in our grade 6. Now our 4th chapter is sorting materials into groups. What do you mean by sorting? Sorting means to differentiate, to classify. Okay, you know very well that we should always differently place the objects. When you visit a mall, yes, if you want to find the chocolates, one corner is there only for the chocolates, isn't it? But if you want to purchase a perfume, there is a separate corner. And if you want a bakery item, again it will be in the different way, and also vegetables in a different place. Think that if all these things are placed together and you want to find a chocolate, how would be it? Yes, it would be very difficult. So we need to separate the objects according to their shape and their use. Okay, now let us see. Sorting the materials into groups. So we will classify. Even you know that your books are also placed in a different wardrobe or in a different rack, so that easily you can find your books. If it is mixed with your brother or sister, it is hard to find, isn't it? So to make our work simple and easy, we used to sort the materials. We have varieties of objects which can be man-made or natural. Yes, objects can be man-made also and natural also. First lesson you have learned about the food. It is also that we get from the plant or animal, isn't it? Here the objects are man-made or natural. Objects can be grouped based on their color, edibility, purpose and etc. So there can be many ways to group the objects, isn't it? It can be according to the color. Now very well example I can give you. If I take orange, okay, orange fruit, if I want to classify them, if I want to group them according to the fruit, then it will come in the fruit group. If I want to group them in a color group, then it can be also in the color group, isn't it? And if I want to place it in the shape size, then it can be in the round group. So it can be possible. There are many ways to differentiate or classify the objects. Objects can be made of one material or different. Yes, it can be made up of one material or different. The chair on which you are sitting, it may be of plastic, may be of wood. But when you go to school, the benches on which you are sitting, it is made up of iron and wood, both. It is not only of wood, not only of iron. Okay, it can be, but mostly it is of these two materials. So objects can be made of one material or different. Now grouping of object is based on their similarities or differences. Yes, as I have given you the example, you can place it in the group of fruit, group of shape, group of color. Yes, now if all the school students are there, you have gone to play any event, okay, their different schools have taken part. So it can be Kalaria school, it can be Xavier's, it can be Eklavya. So there you are classified according to the school. But if I want that you should be classified according to the gender, then it may be the group of boys or group of girls. But if I say that it should be according to the standard wise, again there is a different way. 6th standard, 7th standard, 8th standard and so on. Okay. So it can be classified on their similarities or differences. So all the objects can be classified according to their similarities and differences. Now you prepare one table okay, of the objects. You can take any objects. It can be chair, it can be table, it can be your bag, pencil, and write down from which material it is made up of. Second table you make a such that you take any material. If you take a wood, then what is prepared from the wood? Which objects are prepared? Yes, boys will write first of all cricket bat, isn't it? Okay. Benches, it can be chair, it can be table, doors, windows, many things are there. Okay. So this way you will make it. Clear? Okay. Now we will learn that properties of a material. Okay. Now which are the different properties of materials? Materials can be soft, it can be hard. Materials with different properties look different. Yes, so it can be hard, it can be soft, it can be round, square, and so on. Okay. Now, based on appearance, materials are grouped into different categories. Suppose I take that tall boys, then they will have a different group. If I talk about the thin boys, it can be different group. If I say the person with the curly hair, okay, so according to the look also they may be classified. Suppose the soaps are taken, then we can classify that which are of the lavender color soap. So according to the look. Okay. Now metals such as copper, iron, gold, etc. have luster. Now here there is a word luster. Luster means shiny objects. So mostly metals are having this property. Which property? Shining property. For example, copper, iron, gold. They are having shining property. Now metal lose their luster due to the action of air and moisture. So when they come in the contact with the atmosphere, they may lose this property. It may decrease with the time. Okay. Property of shining. You might have seen that iron things are getting rust because it comes in the contact with the atmosphere and certain chemical reaction are taking place. So due to air and moisture, it may lose their shining property. Some materials like sponge and cotton are soft and easily compressed. If I say that I want to press this pen, it is not possible. Okay, but if I want to press this hanky, it is possible. So materials like sponge and cotton, they are soft, so it can be easily compressed. Compressed means it can be pressed easily, but materials like wood and all the metals cannot be compressed easily. And you know students that things which are made from means all the jewelry, it is made from gold, it is hard, but when they want to design them, it is necessary to heat them. When it is heated, it becomes soft and we can give the shape as we want. Okay, so that is a different property. It is for your information. So materials like sponge and cotton are soft and easily compressed, but some materials like wood and metals are not easily compressed, but metals can be compressed if they are heated. So now you are clear with the luster, okay, shining objects, and when it comes in the contact with the air, it may lose its property or it may also decrease with the time. Now hardness. You have also learned that many objects are hard. Yes, just like wood, metal and so on. So objects which can be compressed, okay, which can be compressed are known as soft materials, and which cannot be compressed is known as a hard material. So example for hard material, if you take a wood, it cannot be compressed, isn't it? And if you take a cotton or sponge, then it may be easily compressed. So the objects which can be compressed is a soft material and which cannot be compressed is a hard material. Now let us see our next property, that is soluble or insoluble. Okay, now if we take any objects or material, yes students, you know that if you want to prepare a milkshake, isn't it, you can add Bournvita powder, or you can also add mango or whatever you want, whichever flavor you like, and you add the sugar inside it. So what happens when you stir it? After a long time you will see that there is no sugar in the milk, isn't it? It means that the whole sugar has dissolved in the milk, or it can be dissolved in water also if you prepare any sarbat, isn't it? So the things which dissolve, okay, which totally mix, it is known as soluble substances. Yes, for example, sugar, then salt, all these are soluble. And some more example also I can give you, that is alcohol, vinegar, lemon juice. Yes, when you add lemon juice in a water, you cannot separate the lemon juice, isn't it? It easily dissolve it. If you want to take with your hand, it is not possible. Even at the same time, if you add lemon juice to the dal or your favorite pulses, you know very well you cannot see the separate lemon juice. It is totally dissolved in the food. So the things which totally dissolve is known as a soluble substances. Now insoluble. Insoluble means if I add in water, if I add some pulses, okay, even if I add some pieces of chapati or bread, it will remain as it is, or it will settle down. So it is not dissolved. The things which doesn't dissolve or which is not mixed in the substance, they are known as insoluble substances. Clear? Now if you know very well students that when you add oil in water, oil never mixes with water. So it is insoluble, isn't it? Our other examples of insoluble are stones, wood, oil, isn't it? If you add oil or if you add the neem leaves in water, will it dissolve? No, it will not dissolve. So they all are insoluble substances. Stones को कितना भी हिलाओ, whatever you do it, you make a powder of it, but it will never dissolve. But sugar easily dissolves in water, so it comes under the category of soluble substances, while this substance will come under the category of insoluble substances. So you might be clear with the soluble and insoluble. Now let us see our next point. Objects may float or sink in water. We have learned that whether it is soluble or insoluble. Now we will also learn that it floats or sink in water, isn't it? Okay, nowadays rainy season is going on, so you know that students like to play with the water. They make the toys of paper, isn't it? You can make a toy of paper boat and when you place it in the water, it will float. So these things which floats on the water are mostly wood, paper and plastic. So many other objects are also there, isn't it, which floats on water. Dry leaves. You might have seen that dry leaves, when it falls in water, it will float. Especially all the oils. Oils never sink in water, it will float in water, isn't it? You can take any oil. It can be groundnut oil, it can be coconut, it can be sesame oil or any oil. Okay. Now we will learn that the objects which are sink in water. Sink yani डूब जाना. Okay. Now if you place a stone in a water, okay, if you keep the stone in the water, it will go to the bottom. It will not float, it will sink in the water. And mostly all the metals also sink only in water. Okay, you take iron, steel and other, but wood always float, isn't it? Plastic, so only you know that boats are made up of wood, isn't it? So only it can float in the water, isn't it? So steamers and all this are in the water, they are made up of wood, so they can run in the water easily. So now you are clear with the substances which float or sink in water. In this way also you can classify the objects. Yes, if I say that my chair is made up of plastic or wood and I drop it in the water, what will happen? Yes, it will float in water. But if my chair is made up of steel and I drop inside the water, what will happen? It will sink. So now you are clear with the terms float or sink, and also about the soluble and insoluble. So you can also classify the objects according to the solubility, means whether it is soluble or insoluble. Soluble means which mixes very well, and which doesn't mix means insoluble. Insoluble substance will never dissolve in water. Yes, if you take the pieces of apple or mustard seeds, it will never soluble. Okay, now let us see our next property. So students, before we learn our next property, you can also prepare the list of things which is soluble and insoluble, isn't it? Yes, you have heard the word sawdust. It is in your lesson. Sawdust means pieces of wood. You can specially find this sawdust in the soap of furniture, isn't it? Tiny pieces of wood. It will also float in water, isn't it? So you can make a list, the things which floats in water. It can be sawdust, oil, dry leaf, wood, plastic, paper and so on. And the things which sink, that is also you can do it very well, isn't it? And you know students, the chalk powder totally doesn't dissolve in water, so it is insoluble. Now we will see the next property, that how we can classify. Let us see that property, that is transparency. Okay, now the property of transparency is used to group objects into three categories. So according to the transparency, there are also three categories. Which are that three? Transparent, translucent and opaque. Let us see one by one. Transparent means the objects through which we can see all the things clearly. Okay, if you take a glass, transparent glass, you know very well that with the help of that glass you can see the things very well. You might have visited the grocer's shop, isn't it? They are placing all the things mostly in the glass jar or a plastic jar. Why? So that the customer who visit over there can easily see the things and get an idea the things which can be purchased. Yes, chocolates, many different chocolates are placed in different jar. You might be knowing that. In one it might be Dairy Milk, in one might be Munch, might be Perk and so on. But how can you see if it is transparent? So if the things are placed in the transparent object, you can see it clearly. Even you know your window glass, isn't it? from the window glass you want to see the things which is outside. So if the window glass is transparent, you can see everything what is out, isn't it? Even when the person is wearing spectacles. So from spectacles they can see the objects clearly because it is transparent only. And yes students, very well known example is air. Yes, think that if air is not transparent, then we cannot see each other also. So air is also transparent. Due to that transparency only, we can see each and everything in this nature. Okay, so now you are clear with the word transparent. Our next category is translucent. Okay, so translucent means things are seen somewhat, partially, okay, not clearly. Suppose if shadow is there or some glasses are also translucent, means you can see that something is out, but you cannot find out clearly what is there. So it means that the objects is translucent. Due to translucent, when some meetings are going on or certain work is going on, in the special in the doctor chamber also, it is the glass are mostly of translucent because doctors come to know that somebody is out, but who is there or what is going on inside can be not seen by the patient who is sitting outside. So translucent means things we can see partially. We cannot see the things clearly from that objects. So such objects are known as translucent. I hope that you are clear with the translucent also. Now our third one is opaque. Now you know very well that our doors are made up of opaque. So the things which is going out or what is happening outside or what is happening inside cannot be seen, isn't it? Okay, your doors, then all the things, vessels, metals comes under the category of opaque, even paper. Now students, do you remember our first experiment that we have done to test the fat? Yes, that oily paper comes in the category of transparent or translucent. Yes, see it, that in which category it falls. Okay, now water. If the water is clean, you can place it in which category? Clean water will come under the category of transparent. Okay. Opaque means which we cannot see the things clearly. If the bottle is of steel, what is filled inside it we cannot see. It can be lemonade also, it can be water also, it can be shake also, it can be some other juice also. Which color juice or what is filled inside we cannot find out if the bottle is made up of steel. But if your water bottle is made up of transparent plastic, okay, then you can easily find out that what is filled inside it. So grocer shop, they mostly use the some things to keep it inside the transparent jar, isn't it? It may be of glass, it may be of plastic. So it is very easy to find out. Even in your kitchen, your mama keeps some things in the transparent things, so that she can easily find out that whether it is containing pulses or rice or other biscuit or whatever. Okay, but always it is not possible to preserve the things in plastic. So it is also kept in the steel container also. But steel is opaque. So you will not able to find out that what is kept inside. Either you have to label it or you have to remember when it is kept inside. So transparency, the property of transparency is used to group objects into three categories. Again, let me tell you, transparent means the things or objects from which we can see the things clearly. In translucent, you can only see the things partially, not the clear picture. And in opaque, you cannot see anything. Yes, wall is a very good example. Wooden door. But you know very well, in the Harry Potter episode, yes, Harry enters the wall. But in real life, it is not possible. Wall is a opaque object. So now you are clear with all this category: transparent, translucent and opaque. So oily paper was patch you have made due to oil. It falls under the translucent. And even when you make a light on your palm, isn't it, in a dark room with the help of torch, light will pass through it, isn't it? So your palm is also be an example of transparent, but simple palm will be considered in a opaque. So students, now you have learned that sorting of materials is very much important, isn't it, to make the things to find out easily, even and make to search, isn't it? And it is a simple way to find out. Even in your school, you know that the pile of maths books and pile of English books are separate. Otherwise, if all the subject books are mixed over, then it is hard to find out the certain book. It will consume your time and also you will feel bored. So sorting materials is very much important. It can be sorted according to the property, according to the shape, according to the similarities, according to the differences, isn't it? So various ways we have learned in this lesson that how the objects can be classified. So now you will also keep the things accordingly, isn't it? You will not keep your things here or there at your home, your toys at one place, your books in other place. You know very well that your mama's kitchen is so well, isn't it? She never used to find anything because she keeps all the things separately and in a proper way. If you want to find a bowl, it is at a fixed place only. If she wants to find the pulses, then also it has a separate place. So you will also make such things. So sorting is based on the differences and also the similarities. So in this way all the objects are classified. So I hope that you are clear with the chapter. Okay, thank you students. Bye bye. Have a good day. Stay home, stay safe.